I'm Michelle Sweeney, and before I get started with this piano lesson on Beethoven, I have to show off my fun t-shirt that I got for Christmas. Without the piano, life would be flat. I love it. It's very, very nerdy and fun. So anyway, I am working on a little passage on Beethoven Sonata, Opus 49, number 2. It's Beethoven Sonata number 20, and it's in Book 2, Band 2 of the Clavier Sonata. Measures 15 through 19 are exceptionally tricky, and I wanted to offer a few suggestions and practice strategies to help make that easier to play. It's really fast. It's kind of jumping all over the place with the right hand a little bit, and so let's talk about it. So this is what it is, just to start out with. That's what it is. Those are the 4 measures that we're talking about, and they're like 4 times that fast or something. They're way faster when you play them at tempo. So how do you get them accurate? How do you get them up to speed? What do you do to make that feasible? And the answer is you chunk them into blocked chords. So instead of playing like a million different little notes one after the other, you're just going to play them all at the same time. Get the fingerings like into a chunk so that it doesn't feel so much like a million notes. Okay, so we're just going to simplify it. So left hand is really easy. It's that for the whole measure. Right hand. So that's a whole measure we have. Okay. So if you take the chord and you just play all of the notes at the same time, instead of having them broken up the way they're written out, it's going to simplify learning the notes. It's also going to simplify where your fingering is actually changing. So this first measure is just like that. The next measure, your second finger rolls over the thumb. Your left hand moves up to the second inversion of G major chord. Okay, so from here, what is the right hand doing? It's going to a full G major chord. Okay, so the first half of this measure is all just a G major chord, and then you come down to a smaller G major chord. And then it's the next measure is going to be just like the first, measure 15, where we have this one, and then measure 18 is just this G major chord, and then you're going to move it down. So you've got this inversion of the chord. It's in root position with all 4 notes, and then you're going to move that down to the second inversion. So here. So you have it here, then you have it here, and then you have left hand going back and forth a little bit. So if you take these lots and lots of notes that are broken up into arpeggios and you simplify them into blocked chords, it's going to help you to understand what your groupings are fingering wise, and then how to where exactly your transitions are to need to move to another place on the piano. So let me just play all of that blocked without any breaks. You've got something like that. So you don't necessarily have to stay in tempo or in rhythm. You just kind of play them in groupings or chunks of what the chords are, just to get the feeling in your hands of how spaced apart your fingers need to be. The other practice strategy I wanted to show you was changing the rhythm. So there's kind of a landing point with each of these fingering groups. So with the right hand, If you land on the first beat and the third beat and take a little pause, change your rhythm so it's like this. So you do the triplet super fast, but then give yourself time to think about what's next while you pause on the long quarter note. Make that quarter note like extra long. Hold it out so it's maybe gonna feel like a half note or something like that. Just making your rhythm kind of uneven from what it normally is will give you a little bit of time to think and a little bit of time to prepare. And then like playing around with rhythms like that will help. So then you can add in the left hand while you're doing that. Okay, so you're taking it out of context. You're taking it out of the beat. You're taking it away from the rhythm that was written, and you're making like kind of this practice pause on every other beat. And that's going to help you as well. And then you can do it very slowly with really strong articulation. So making everything super hard and loud. And so just nice and forte. So blocking your chords, changing the rhythm, and then doing it hard and loud. Those are three things that are really going to help your fingers figure out what they need to do. And then after you do that, you can just slowly inch it up until it gets a little bit faster each day. Just maybe 2 ticks on your metronome faster each day, and then gradually just build the speed. But you always want to stay in control with your speed. You're never going to be successful if you let it get away like a runaway train. Like, you have to stay on top of it. You have to stay in control of the speed. And so the way to get something that is really fast like this and a little bit tricky, the way you get that up to speed is you do it slowly enough that you don't even notice it's getting faster, that you're staying in control every single day, and each day just upping it just a teeny tiny bit. So, you know, the first day you're doing it this slow. The next day you're doing it. And then the next day just a little bit faster. A little bit faster. So each day, just a teeny tiny bit faster, so that you never really feel like you're jumping ahead in speed. You're just gradually working your way up to a performance tempo. One other thing that's really going to help with your speeding this up is to feel it in the time signature that's written. This is not in 4. This is in cut time, which means that you're feeling 2 big half note beats. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to feel 1, 2, 3, 4. Or, well, I should say 1, 2, 1, 2. Sorry, let me count that again. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And you'll play the notes right. So you feel it in 2 rather than in 4. For some reason, at least in my brain, when I make the beats farther apart, it's easier to go faster. It feels slower because you're not feeling hurried. You're not feeling like you're running. You're feeling like you're walking nice and calm, and you have these fast notes kind of underneath that walking nice and calm, but it's like, it just feels a little bit more accessible. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that feels like 1, 2, nice and easy pace. You're not feeling like, in contrast, if you're thinking of it in 4, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And it feels a little more like hurried and nervous or something. So just slow down your counting, feel it in cut time, feel it with those big half note beats, and that's just going to sort of calm you down and allow you to play the fast notes without making it feel quite so hurried. So those are all a couple of things that will probably help with measures 15 through 19 in Beethoven Sonata, Opus 49, number 2, Allegro, first movement. Thank you for the specific question, Jervi, and I hope that this sounds really great when you play it. It's a fun little sonata, and I hope you enjoy learning it.